Welcome back to the Film Frontline. If you're new here, I'm your host, bringing you the hottest takes, the deepest dives, and the absolute rawest opinions on everything Hollywood. Today, we are talking about a movie that I desperately wanted to love. We are entering the fog. We are facing the trauma. We are talking about Return to Silent Hill. Now, the tea is piping hot on this one because we've got Christophe Gans back in the director's chair. He gave us the original 2006 Silent Hill movie, which, let's be real, was actually a vibe back in the day. But it is 2026, honey. The bar has been raised. We live in a post-The Last of Us, post-Fallout world where video game adaptations are actually winning Emmys and serving cinematic excellence. So the big question is, does Return to Silent Hill give us that gritty, psychological horror masterpiece we deserve? Or is it just foggy cosplay? Let's break it down. First things first, let's talk about the setup. This movie is adapting Silent Hill 2, which is arguably the GOAT of survival horror games. The story is heavy. It's about grief, guilt, and a man named James Sunderland looking for his dead wife. But right out of the gate, the movie makes some choices. The opening scene, it introduces us to James, played by Jeremy Irvine, and guys, I cannot make this up. He is driving a convertible, wind in his hair, listening to a song with lyrics that literally say, "All day long I'm racing." I mean, are we serious? It's giving a midlife crisis before the trauma even starts. He's got this messy wig, he's smoking weed while driving, and the movie is trying so hard to paint him as this cool, tortured rebel. It's honestly unintentional comedy. It's a red flag immediately. Then we get to the actual town. James gets that iconic letter from his late wife Mary and heads back to Silent Hill. And here is where the girl boss energy leaves the building, because the movie starts struggling to find its identity. On one hand, it wants to be this elevated A24-style psychological horror about the human condition. On the other hand, it wants to be a gruesome creature feature. And unfortunately, it kind of flops at both. The emotional weight that made the game so legendary is just not landing. James is running around, but his motivation feels shallow. We're told he's sad, but we don't really feel it. It's lacking that emotional connection that makes you root for a toxic main character. Let's talk visuals, because this is Silent Hill. We expect atmosphere. We expect to be terrified. Director Christophe Gans clearly loves the game. He recreated some of the sets with practical effects that look identical to the source material. When the physical sets are on screen, stunning. 10 out of 10, no notes. However, a huge chunk of this movie feels like it was shot in front of a green screen. We are seeing clearly computer-animated backgrounds and CGI monsters that just don't have that tactile, gritty grossness we need. When you're running from Pyramid Head, it needs to feel real, not like a cutscene from a PlayStation 3 game. It breaks the immersion. It's giving a low budget when it should be giving nightmare fuel. And speaking of video game logic, the movie tries way too hard to wink at the gamers. There are moments where the camera switches to first person, like you're literally playing the game. Now, I love an Easter egg, but this feels gimmicky. It serves no narrative purpose other than to say, hey, look, we played the game too. It feels like the movie assumes you already know the lore, so it cuts corners on character development. Characters pop in and out like Angela and Maria without enough context. Speaking of the cast, Hannah Emily Anderson is putting in the work, playing multiple roles, including Mary and Maria. She's trying to carry the mystery, but the script just doesn't give her enough to work with. And poor Jeremy Irvine, he's running around these CGI sets looking confused, and honestly, same. The biggest heartbreak here is the ending. Without spoiling the specifics, the movie tries to force the game's conclusion onto a story that it fundamentally changed. They tweaked the backstory, they added some weird cult aspects, and they changed Mary's family dynamic. But then they tried to stick the original landing, and it just doesn't make sense. You can't change the journey and expect the destination to hit the same way. All right, it's time for the Film Frontline opinion. Here is the truth. Return to Silent Hill feels like a relic from 2006. It completely ignores the glow-up that video game adaptations have had over the last decade. It feels like the filmmakers thought, if we just put James in the green jacket and show the fog, the fans will be happy. But we're smarter than that. We don't just want the aesthetic, we want the soul. This movie has the look, sometimes, but it has absolutely zero heart. It feels hollow. It feels like a high-budget cosplay video rather than a cinematic experience. If you are a die-hard fan of the franchise, you might get a kick out of seeing the locations recreated. But as a film, as a horror experience, it's a hard pass for me. It's an ugly, awkward adaptation that proves some things are better left in the console. But hey, that is just my take. I want to hear from you guys. Are you brave enough to return to Silent Hill, or are you staying far away from the fog this weekend? And for my gamers out there, does a bad movie ruin the game for you, or can you separate the art from the flop? Let me know your theories and thoughts in the comments down below. If you liked this deep dive, make sure you smash that like button. It really helps the channel. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss an update from the Film Frontline. Stay spooky, stay fabulous, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!